Welcome back to Display TV. I'm your host, Sarah Pribis. We're just getting started on tonight's show. We got trivia coming up for $500 in about 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah, and it's going to be President's Day themed. So happy President's Day, everyone. I hope you studied up for all that great American history. Good stuff. And then we've talked about how to earn money on the Display app and how to set up your storefront. But now it's time for, I don't know, I kind of think it's your favorite part, right? When I give away an answer, right? Let me know in the chat. Is this your favorite part? Maybe. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to read out the question for tonight's show, which will be question 8. And you're going to try to answer. This is for no points, no gain, no money, just for knowledge, just so you have a leg up on your fellow players who tuned in late later. And then I'm going to reveal the correct answer. And then we're going to go through some original content, and then we're going to play trivia. How does that sound? Good? Great. Let's do it. Let's find out if you know question 8 in tonight's game. I want to know, which president appeared on the first ever primetime televised State of the Union address? Was it Franklin Roosevelt, was it Harry Truman, or was it Lyndon Johnson? Which one appeared on the first ever primetime televised State of the Union address? Do you know this? Maybe you read up on your random trivia pertaining to presidents today because you had a feeling we were going to do this game. This is honestly one of the hardest subjects for me, so I would miserably fail in tonight's game. Thank goodness I have the answers ahead of time because I could not play with all of you. All right, let's see how we're doing. All right, 43% of you are saying Harry Truman. 28% of you are saying Lyndon Johnson. 25% of you are saying Roosevelt. And the correct answer is Lyndon Johnson. Harry Truman was the first televised State of the Union, but not prime time. That was Lyndon Johnson. So Lyndon Johnson, very clearly, very succinctly, I will tell you right now, is your answer. Lyndon Johnson. Again, Harry Truman was first televised, but who got that special primetime slot? That would be Lyndon Johnson. Ooh, only 24% of you got that. You should feel pretty special. And the rest of you should just feel very, very lucky and fortunate that you tuned in. Or I mean, maybe it wasn't lucky. Maybe you just know that I give the answer and you're like, I'm here for the answer. That's really it. So how did you know that? If you got it right, let me know in the chat. How did you know it? I always want to know how we know this random trivia knowledge. And while you answer that question, I'm going to move on to showing off some of the original content that I've been digging up from this app. So let's kick it off with these posts that we've got. This one is from Sysim. Sysim is a DAB member, so that means they're part of the Display Advisory Board, which I love because they're sort of that, you know, intermediate portion between the display staff and the content creators. So Sysim is making great content, such a great example of what you can do here on the Display app. A lot, not necessarily architecture stuff, but what we're showing tonight is architecture, and this is straight from France. How beautiful is this? I need more architecture in my feed. This is stunning. Travel content, architecture, give it to me. And next, we have another one from Sysim, some more architecture, but I want to be clear that, again, Sysim has more than just architecture on her page, so go check her out. This is basically the White Cathedral against a beautiful blue sky. And yeah, just quality content. So I would encourage you to go check out Sysim stuff. Next up, we have Roll. This is La Pizza from La Bella Luna. Roll is a foodie hailing from the Philippines. Yum, sign me up for that. Which day of the week do we eat pizza on? Let me know, I'm curious. Or do we just eat it every day of the week? And this was just so artfully taken. I love, you know, the extra care that went into this photo. It's a very simple pizza photo, but right, how pretty is it? Look at all those, look at all the supports and engagement on this photo, right? Doing something right. All right, let's take a look at our next one, also from Roll. We're doing 2 from our creators tonight. These are some sliders pairing with that pizza. Delicious. I mean, you can't go wrong with a meal that consists of pizza and sliders, right? For me, that sounds perfect. Next up, we've got Cookie Monster. Cookie Monster. This is Chad, sharp groomsman, showing love to the best men of his wedding. I love it. They're looking so dapper. We love pictures that show personalities and big life events. This is great. From Cookie Monster, we also have a little bit of an inside look at Thunder Studio and display partner Infinite Reality. The caption said, "Behind these doors lies the future of the metaverse." More to come on that soon. More to come on that. You'll have to stay tuned to this show to hear all about it. Okay. Then we have some content from Ionella. Always has great content showing landscapes, architecture, nature. She lives in Romania, so here we see a photo of her in her native Romanian town. And then next, we have a wonderful statue that was taken by Ionella at the Louvre Rivoli in Paris. Gorgeous. Again, I'm sort of loving the fact that I get to travel to all these places through people's content. And they're making money off of it. How cool is that? Making money off the content. All right, next up and last but not least, we have Mihai 80. So again, we kind of stuck with this architectural theme tonight. Clear blue skies, European streets. Oh, it's giving me the travel bug. I love it, Mihai. This is great. And then finally, this other one from Mihai is, you know, a picture of a sunset. You really can't go wrong sharing a picture of a sunset. So if the sun sets where you live, where I'm guessing it does, go snap a photo. Share it to the Tie-Dye Sky community, post it directly to the sunset community. Plenty of places for you to post those sunset photos. And people want to see them, and I am people, so do it. Earn that extra money. Speaking of money, we've got trivia for $500 coming up in 5 minutes. It's President's Day themed, and we got some extra special graphics for you. I'll see you there. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another all-new round of Display Trivia. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Sarah Pribis. Now, I might be the captain of this ship, at least in my own mind, which is why I'm so excited to celebrate an equally distinguished leader, the President of the United States of America. That's right. Today is President's Day, which means I'm taking all of this very seriously. No jokes today. It is a day of solemn political importance on which every American is called upon to remember their civic duty. Duty. Today is in honor of two presidents in particular, George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, but extending it to all presidents. Are you the president of your local homeowners association? Congrats. This day is for you, Reggie. God, what a great guy, Reggie. But for all institutions to run smoothly, there must exist a set of laws, of governing rules, if you will. And Display Trivia is no different. Here's the law of the land. You'll have 10 seconds to answer each of the following 10 questions. They'll get harder as we go, much like all those campaign promises you make. Make sure you're connected to Wi-Fi and that you're holding your phone vertically. Oh, and make sure to choose your answers very carefully because once you tap, there's no going back. No, trivia is just like politics. One flub up can cost you the whole thing. Now, before we get started, I'd like to propose a vote for no points at all. A good old-fashioned would you rather. So would you rather hail to the chief, hail a taxi, Hail Mary pass? Choose whatever you feel most aligns with your values as a voter. Hail yeah! Did you pick one? Let's see. What do we choose? We got 31% of you hailing a taxi, 29% of you hailing to the chief, and 39% going for that Hail Mary pass. All right, who's ready to elect some right answers? I believe you are. It's time for Display Trivia. Question 1. The U.S. President is the head of what branch of the government? The executive branch, the tree branch, the Scranton branch. The U.S. President is the head of what branch of the government? The executive branch, the tree branch, the Scranton branch. Okay. If the president is the head, then what does that make the vice president? The neck? Who's the feet? And who, I ask, who is the butt? I'm serious. Butts are important, and we all have one. Why are government figures body parts? You know? However, I think the real question here is, why is our government in a tree? I mean, branches? A tree seems like a horrible place to conduct business. No wonder it takes so long for anything to get done. Presidential terms are 4 years each because by the time you get up the tree, your term is halfway over. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it's time for a new form of government. Maybe, I don't know, just make it a contest. Whoever gets the most points, they make the laws. But for now, The president is the head of the executive branch. 95% of you got that. Question 2. What is the name of the Aaron Sorkin TV drama about the president's office? The West Wing, Veep, House of Cards. What is the name of the Aaron Sorkin TV drama about the president's office? The West Wing, Veep, House of Cards. Hot take coming your way, but hear me out. After watching the show, it is clear that we need more TV dramas about elected officials. And not just the highest level of elected officials. I'm talking about the Joe Schmo of elected officials. I want a high stakes procedural about your local city commissioner. Democracy happens at the lowest levels, but so does the drama. Can you believe the city budget didn't allot enough funding for office supplies? And for this oversight, someone will pay. The show is The West Wing, which raises my next question. They're letting a bird be president? 91% of you got that. Question 3. The vice president breaks a tie in what legislative chamber? The House, the Senate, the Chamber of Secrets. The vice president breaks a tie in what legislative chamber? The House, the Senate, the Chamber of Secrets. I bet you're wondering why a vice president would ever need to break a tie. Here's a scenario. You're throwing a party, right? It's a dinner party. You send out all the invitations and then realize you forgot to specify the attire, okay? So you call all your friends and you say, hey, sorry, this wasn't on the invitation, but the attire is very formal. But here's the thing. You forgot to tell the vice president. So the night of the party, you're schmoozing, you're passing out your hors d'oeuvres, everything is just perfect. Suddenly, the vice president shows up in jeans. Well, the VP loses it, and while the VP is destroying the flower arrangements and attacking your guests, they destroy a waiter's bow tie. Good? Does that make sense? Great. 91% of you got that. The Senate is what we are looking for here. Question 4. All of the following items are in the U.S. presidential seal except an olive branch, a bundle of arrows, a dove. All of the following items are in the U.S. presidential seal except an olive branch, a bundle of arrows, a dove. Oh, dear me. That poor seal. An olive branch? I mean, fine, I'm sure it could digest it. A bird? I mean, maybe. But a bundle of arrows, I mean, that is really going to mess up that little baby marine animal belly. Who the heck brought a bundle of arrows into the zoo to start with? Most zoos don't even serve drinks with paper straws, but some bozo managed to get a bundle of arrows in here? Please help that seal. I mean, I need to go turn this normal penny into a souvenir zoo penny for only $7. Wow, zoos are fun. The bird riding the back of this brave little seal is not a dove, but an eagle holding an olive branch in one talon and a bundle of arrows in the other. I mean, it seems a little contradictory, but you do you. 80% of you got that. It was dove. Question 5. Which mathematical statement represents the number of vice presidents who have gone on to become president? 3 times 5, 4 plus 4, 20 divided by 5. Which mathematical statement represents the number of vice presidents who have gone on to become president? 3 times 5, 4 plus 4, 20 divided by 5. Whew! My 2 favorite subjects in school, U.S. history and math. No, I'm serious, they really are. There was this guy who I had a crazy crush on. His name was Michael. He was so cute. He had the most beautiful blue eyes. He always helped me when I didn't understand something, and he just had the cutest little bald spot you ever did see. What? He was my teacher. Oh my God, I was in 1st grade. Like at that point in your life, you're supposed to have a crush on randos. I mean, I thought I was gonna marry my dad. Spoiler alert, he's happily married to my stepmom now. So, you win some, you lose some. And if you got elected VP and then got to step into the role, I mean, I call that a win. And in the 250-year history of the presidency, it has happened 15 times. Yes, 73% of you know in that math and history. I love it. Halfway there. Question 6. The only person to have served as president completely unelected was from what U.S. state? Missouri, Nebraska, North Carolina. The only person to have served as president completely unelected was from what U.S. state? Missouri, Nebraska, North Carolina. The naysayers will tell you that some things aren't possible, but you know what? That's only because they don't believe in themselves. I mean, look at this dude. Didn't even run for the vice presidency, but somehow managed to snag that. Does he stop here? No, this is not even his final form. This man goes on to hold the highest office in the land. That's right, he holds it. doesn't just approach it, holds it in both hands. I'm saying it just goes to show you, never put limits on what you think you can do. If you think you can eat that entire honey-baked ham, well then, sweetie, you go for it. Just like Gerald Ford did when he became the only American in history to become president without winning an election. Nebraska is it. 80% of you got that. Question 7. Select the phrase that is not in the presidential oath of office as written in the Constitution. I do solemnly swear I will faithfully execute, so help me God. Select the phrase that is not in the presidential oath of office as written in the Constitution. I do solemnly swear I will faithfully execute, so help me God. I mean, if you really think about it, the oath of office is just a little speech they've had to memorize. You know, like a monologue for your high school acting class or your Torah portion if you're getting mitzvahed. Except instead of the lead in the school play or lots of checks from relatives you barely know, it's the hardest, most stressful job in the world. Yay! And of course, the best speeches always add a little bit of their own flair. I want the next president to throw a fistful of glitter in the air once they've finished. Presidents need pizzazz too. And every president since FDR has included the phrase, so help me God, at the end of the oath, even though that is not how it's written in the Constitution. Ooh, slightly savage, but 72% of you pulled through. So help you God. Let's do question 8. Which president appeared on the first ever primetime televised State of the Union address? Franklin Roosevelt, Harry Truman, Lyndon Johnson. Which president appeared on the first ever primetime televised State of the Union address? Franklin Roosevelt, Harry Truman, Lyndon Johnson. I mean, wow, they will truly put anything on primetime spots these days. I mean, you thought The Masked Singer was tough to get through? Wait till you see the State of the Union address. Wow, that thing is hard to watch. All this talk of debt ceilings this and infrastructure that. You've lost me. I mean, either get Ryan Murphy to produce it or I'm out. I will change the channel to the Goldberg so fast you won't even know what happened. Also, how am I supposed to follow the plot? Like, this guy is saying America is the greatest country on earth, but then is listing all these ways we can fix it? Sounds like sloppy writing to me. Roosevelt was the first president to appear in a televised broadcast. Truman had the first televised address, but Johnson was the first to get the good time slot. 81% of you got that, probably because you tuned into the pre-show. We gave away that answer. Question 9. The U.S. president fulfills which of the following duties? Head of government, but not head of state and head of government. Commander-in-chief, but not head of government. The U.S. president fulfills which of the following duties? Head of government, but not head of state and head of government. Commander-in-chief, but not head of government. There it is again. Duties. Okay, but seriously, this question right here totally underlines why you got to read the job description before you go in for an interview. And don't just skim. You got to read the full listing and build the resume around it. Hi, Barack. A great CV here. We're just hoping you could extrapolate a little more on your verbal and written communication you have listed under your special skills. I mean, let's be honest. We've all lied on resumes. For instance, on mine, I say I have past experience. Baby, I'm just winging it. But the president of the U.S. has 3 main duties. They're head of state, head of government, and also head of the armed forces. And you thought Barbra Streisand was a triple threat. Whew! 83% of you got that, and it's time for the final question. Question 10. Select the sum of the current ages of all living U.S. presidents. 364, 461, 555. Select the sum of the current ages of all living U.S. presidents. 364, 461, 555. Whew! The presidency is a difficult race to run, and not everyone makes it to the finish line. But you know what would make this race just a little more interesting? If we tied 2 people's middle legs together and really went for it. Yeah, you heard me correctly. I am suggesting that we make the presidency a 3-legged race. Come on! That would be way more fun to watch. Okay, if not that, then at least like a potato sack relay. I'm just saying, the average American would be a lot more interested in government if it was structured like a field day, that's all. Now, of all 46 people to have held the office of the President of the United States, 6 are currently still alive. We've got Jimmy Carter at 97, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Trump at 75, Obama at 60, and current President Joe Biden at 79, which adds up to 461. Oof, again, math and history. You got to know it all. You got to be a Renaissance display bee to make it through this game. How was that for some President's Day trivia? How did we do? You all came. You slayed. You displayed your knowledge. You're going to get paid. How many winners? We got 329 winners tonight. Bravo. I am so impressed. That quiz was hard. I mean, that is just not my strong suit. I don't know if I have a strong suit. I think reading the questions. Reading the questions is my strong suit. So thank you to all of you. All right, Most Arrow got a 5. Bedoya, thank you so much. Fidiotic, 6 out of 10. I'm telling you, you have to know this stuff. Facts Guru, it's so good to see you. Abai, I love that. Wishing a well done to all of those who weathered the storm. I see sobbing tears from Shagufta. Freya got a 6 out of 10. Yeah, Heidi, that was a tough one. Like I said, that was not my area of expertise. So I commend those of you that did that. Nikki D, 8 out of 10. Woo! Bravo, Facts Guru got a 10. Ella got a 5. Well, friends, you know what? Come back tomorrow. Join me every night at 7:30 for my pre-show where I give away an answer to that night's quiz, right? That helps. Until then, friends, happy President's Day, and we'll see you tomorrow on display.